All right. We're live. LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. I've learned, not that anyone cares, that YouTube is great, but not for live. The algorithm favors a video that's uploaded not live so that it can live forever. So I got a day off from the office today from the site Yuma Clinical Trials. Um, but there's still a lot of Zooms, there's a lot of meetings. For those that have been following, we've we've announced the SOS conference, Save Our Sites, hashtag Save Our Sites 2024, February 2nd, Tucson, Arizona, at my alma mater, the University of Arizona, where I did not get into med school or pharmacy school, but I'm not bitter. Only a little bitter. Um, if you want the secret link, right now we're still doing early bird. As of February 28th, 2023, we're still doing a few more days of early bird. And we're already like over 100 tickets sold. So we're only doing 200 early birds. That's it. So, anyways, enough of the sales. Oh, also, huge thank you to Viva, the sponsor, for sponsoring this show, this podcast. Um, we're probably going to have them at Save Our Sites conference. Viva's been doing incredible things for the sites, sites.viva.com. The site vault is amazing for e-reg, e-signature, e-delegation of duties. If you ever wanted to dab your toe in the waters of e-signatures and whatnot, um, sites.viva.com. It's free. What else can you want? With all that being said, guys, welcome. I've received so many questions, um, and I'm trying to categorize them now so I can like address them as groups in different topics. So this topic's gonna be about careers. So we're gonna start with the careers, and whether your career means you want to start a business in this space, or whether your career means the more traditional route, you want to find a career in this space. Um, this some of these concepts may apply. So, um, oh, we got it for TikTok. TikTok. Um, I've been growing my TikTok channel. Thank you so much, Thaisa. Hopefully, I pronounced that right. I found you on TikTok, and that led me here. Thank you so much for the tips. Look, that's actually where I'm gonna start. The first questions I've been getting, I've been noticing like a lot of negativity out there. Of course, guys, like I oversimplify things, but to you can choose two ways of going about life. You can choose to be net positive and optimistic or net negative and pessimistic, right? There's no need for me to make videos when it comes to motivating people, helping people start their careers in clinical research. Like that's just not my strategy. Maybe it would work to be pessimistic. You can argue, well, you could be a realist, and yeah, that's where these longer form podcasts come in. Like I try to be a realist, but I still skew very highly towards optimistic. Um, so there's been a lot of people out there saying, well, because in my experiences, I needed a certification before I got a job. Therefore, that's a rule that applies to everybody. And I'm here to give you the other side of that argument where, like, you can literally go to sites in your area and tell them, hey, I will help you recruit patients in the community. I will go out in your community and pass out flyers at doctor's offices for your studies. By the way, I've looked at your website. I see you have a diabetes study and an obesity study. That would be amazing. And as a site owner, let me tell you, I don't post job listings for that role. That's not something that I'm necessarily looking to hire somebody for. But if somebody wants to come volunteer and intern in exchange for me giving them experience on their resume, and maybe when the timing's right and they prove themselves that they're capable, I can actually hire them even on a part-time level to do other things. So the point of that is there's no job listings for that. Like that's just you going to clinics. There's another person on TikTok who was commenting about uh again, like, you oversimplify things. It's not that easy to get in this industry. If I have 5 seconds on TikTok, right? Like 5 to 10 seconds on TikTok, why would I spend any split second focusing on negative? Like, you go make a TikTok and do that. Maybe you get more followers that way. All right. I choose again to focus on what is possible. Never saying it's easy. Even in those 8 seconds, sometimes I don't say it's easy, but I say it's possible. Easy versus possible. All right. Easy or difficult, that's binary. Possible, all right? So easy or difficult, that's digital, one or zero, binary. Possible is analog. You gotta fine tune. So actually, that's a good theme for the rest of this episode. Hamid, how's it going, man? I'm so glad you liked my episode on coenzyme Q10 with Dr. Joe on the Dr. Joe show. Thank you so much. Um, and by the way, you guys put your questions in the comments, and I will try my best if it's career or entrepreneur or just anything. So, this concept of digital versus analog in research, let me give you some example when it comes to starting careers. And then I'm going to get to one text message I got, which anybody can do, by the way, 949-415-6056. Anybody can do that, 949-415-6056. And this applies to also starting sites too. Um, Digital versus analog. So applying just to jobs on job boards like Career Builder, LinkedIn, if you see ZipRecruiter, if you see a job listed and you apply, okay, that's digital. That's one or zero. That's either you do it or you don't. That's like, if we can nerd out for a second, that's like in the brain, in between neurons, there's a gap, right? So it's electrical signal, which is digital, and then it's the chemical signal, which fine tunes it. So when you see a job posted on ZipRecruiter, Career Builder, wherever it may be, LinkedIn, you either apply or you don't apply. It's very simple. You either do or you don't. Fine. But that's not the end of it, guys and gals. That's the beginning. Let's fine tune it. You should be using these job postings not just to apply. I mean, that's basic. You should be using these job postings to see the possibilities that are out there. You should use these job postings to see what you don't see. So for every job posting that you actually see, there's probably 100 other jobs that are not being posted in your own community. So you got to learn. A lot of people don't even know what the jobs are in this space. So use these job boards to figure it out. It's not just coordinator and CRA. There's all kinds of in between, and every company even have their own naming conventions for these different things. So digital is fine. Apply or don't apply, big deal. Anybody can do that. But what are you doing on the analog side? How are you fine tuning your opportunities? Like those old transistor radios. How are you dialing in? That's where the magic happens. What are you actually doing? My number, Andrea, 949-415-6256. That's 949-415-6256. Loredana says, "Hey, Dan, I very much enjoy your videos and books. I am an engineer. Much respect. That crossed over into clinical trials and clinical engineering and now run an internal audit program. My goal is to be a life cycle auditor for medical devices and pharma. This is perfect. This is perfect. And this actually is a good segue into the next topic, the next question for all those people out there that have already been in this space, all right, that want to start their own companies. They're all looking for digital solutions. Do I do this? Do I not do this? Do I do that? Can I do this? Can I not do this? Can I do this? Can I not do this? Let me tell you something. The minute you start thinking about your own business, digital is just the beginning. One or zero. Do you do this? Do you not do this? It's all about the fine tuning at that point. Kishan, how's it going, man? Dan, you have been a big influence and inspiration. I am a pharmacovigilance professional and an auditor. I am aiming to be a product myself as a brand for educating and consulting. Perfect segue. I have a small LinkedIn and YouTube presence as a content creator. We should do an interview and a podcast. Kishan, hit me up. But do you think we can drive more recognition or business by also being on other social media such as Instagram and TikTok? I'm not sure if niche domains like ours get any traction there amidst the dance reels and prank videos. They do. The riches are in the niches, okay? Like the one thing I like about these platforms, and especially like something like you, where you are so niche, like you're not just in clinical research, you're pharmacovigilance. There's literally nobody on TikTok that I'm aware of that's creating that kind of content or Instagram. Maybe not even YouTube. I don't even know. Send me your channel, message me, let's do an interview. I'd like to learn more about you. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. When you go decide to start something yourself, okay, you already know the rules. Like if you are a pharmacovigilance professional and an auditor, and now you want to build your brand and grow your business, it's no longer like, do you just know how to do pharmacovigilance? Because that's just go get a job somewhere. You're talking about building your brand, leveraging your knowledge into a business. That's where you got to start thinking outside the box, fine tuning your approach. Do I try TikTok? Do I try Instagram? Let me tell you two things about those things. They're free. Even if they fail, let's say you get one new follower that would have never discovered you otherwise. Is that considered a success or failure? I don't know. Did you maybe learn something? Did you receive different feedback on those platforms that you couldn't have received anywhere else? Is that a success or failure? Now, you can argue, well, is the ROI worth my time or not? That's for you to decide. But are there opportunities for being on those platforms? Yes. There's platforms I'm not on. I don't really use Twitter that much. Like I'm broadcasting live on Twitter right now, but I don't really engage with other clinical researchers on there. I'm using that more for like biotech and business stuff. I'm pretty sure I'm missing out some opportunities here and there. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Snapchat. I've completely ignored Snapchat over the last few years. Am I missing out? Probably, but that's a decision I make and I have to live with the outcomes. Like I'm okay with it. So again, digital versus analog, one or zero versus all the numbers in between one or zero, which by the way, it's infinite. Okay. Uh, Thaisa said, my goal is to be a regulatory affairs analyst. It's been a while since my last position in clinical research, about 9 months. So you gotta connect with other regulatory affairs people on LinkedIn. Just get into the like they're gonna post. If nothing else, follow me, Brad, Dr. Fox, Monica, Craig Lipset, Joe Dustin. Follow some of the bigger names in the space. And whenever something along the lines of regulatory comes up, start discussing it, right? Darshan Kulkarni is another one. He posts all the time. So whenever they post content related to regulatory or regulatory affairs, provide your 2 cents. People are going to find you. Again, this is the fine tuning of your approach. I'm going to get to one of my text messages I got the other day. Frederick, I'm a clinical research coordinator. Respect to all the coordinators out there. I am myself a coordinator again. These studies are getting so complex. I have a newfound respect for coordinators, and I never actually lost my old respect for coordinators, but I have an even higher level of respect for coordinators now that I'm a coordinator myself in 2023. I'm a clinical research coordinator with experience of ethical review and internal monitoring. I need guidance on transitioning to CTM or CT or CRA. It's all about who you know, what kind of conversations you're having with them, transferable skills, and again, this fine tuning. Are you going to ACRP meetups in your area? Are you going to SOCRA meetups in your area, whether they're in person or on Zoom? Both of those groups have meetups every month. From my understanding, many of them are free, if not all. Now, you have to pay to be a member, but you can go to the meetups. So, what are you doing? Are you interacting with other CRAs, CTMs out there? How many? Now we get into the details. How much experience do you have? Are you tapping into the network of CRAs that you worked with as a coordinator? All these things, again, it's the fine tuning. It's the fine tuning. Um, Let me find the text I got. My phone's absolutely blowing up. Monica, Chris, they don't even know I'm live right now, and my phone is. I'm on these group text, and they're blowing up. Dr. Fox, Brett Hightower. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay, here's one. Let me just read you without giving away the identity. I want to keep this person kind of. I want to keep this person anonymous as best I can. So, and I don't know who this person is. Hey, I saw your CRO videos online. I'm interested in starting a CRO business with digital components. So, I'm going to read you this text thread. I want you guys, the comments, to highlight what's wrong with this person's approach. I think it's like there's philosophically something wrong. It, just the first people that posted in the comments, extra kudos for you. Okay. Hey Yolanda, how's it going? How's it going? All right, check it out. Let me know what you guys think about this guy's or gal, I don't know, philosophical approach. I saw your CRO videos online. I'm interested in starting a CRO business with digital components. I'd like for the business to be generating revenue in 6 months. I have a strong technical team that can build nearly any feature set. What are your thoughts on the most important aspect to optimize to get an advantage in getting biopharma contracts? Right? The the text goes on, but I wanted to give people opportunity to put comments. What is wrong philosophically so far with this person's approach? I'm gonna drink some cold brew. Heather. Heather says he's more concerned with money than patient care. That's right. That's one. Like, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be sustainable, but you're close, Heather. Like, you're definitely right, but more fine tuned, even more fine tuned. Anyone else? Let me read it again. Serendipity for money, just money driven. Serendipity for money. I hope this guy's not watching. We're not doing this to make fun of you. It's to highlight a point. So let me continue. My response to this: get your first client. They respond, thank you. Do you mean saying getting the first client is the hardest aspect? Would my client be a site or a pharma company? So tell me more about what you guys think. Then they go on to say that they worked with two big pharma companies as an employee in the past. Then they say, I don't have any experience in CRO side, but I want to start a business that is focused on oncology clinical trials. All right. Karina says he needs to establish himself first. Yeah, absolutely. So I said, as a business, you need sales and marketing. What problem are you solving? Why would someone hire your firm? Then they replied, do you have any general ideas of what problem would be most compelling to develop a new approach. Which part of CRO process is most cumbersome? I replied, there are so many issues to solve. They said, have you built a CRO yourself? I said, yes, but my angle was helping small sponsors pull off investigator initiated trials. What's your niche? So, a lot of the questions or comments are coming in. You guys are all on the right track. Learn the CRO side of things or you will implode. My core issue with this person is he's not thinking about the client. First of all, he doesn't even know what client he's going to get. Like, he asked site or pharma. Well, if you're a CRO, I mean, for the most part, whether you're a niche CRO or a big CRO, your client is the sponsor. Like, you're supposed to find sites for them, but the sites are not your clients. The sponsor's your client. So the first thing is he doesn't even understand the business of a CRO. The second thing, which people were alluding to, he or she is just thinking about, okay, I want to do this business because I want to do it and I want to make money in 6 months. Well, that's nice, but the market doesn't care what you want to do. The market, matter of fact, the market is working against you because of something called competitors to keep you from making money ever. Forget about 6 months. Ever. What you need to do, you've worked at Big Pharma for X amount of years. You mean to tell me you do not know what the pain points are? There are infinite pain points at sponsors. There's study startup, there's site selection, there's site training, there's data management, there's tech, there's SWAT team when you got to go in and clean up existing studies from problems. You can't just say I want to do whatever because we know how to do tech and I worked at big pharma for 3 years. Like, you need to go do the research to figure out, number 1, what have you seen as the biggest issues? And then what can you do to solve them? So in my case with the CRO, what I noticed was all these small, really small, like startup biotechs, like Dr. Hazen's company for one, Progena Biome. They wanted to do studies, but they couldn't afford to do like the big multi-site studies. They just wanted to do pilot studies. They're called investigator initiated trials. And there were not really any CROs out there that want to do that. So I saw that as an opportunity, not just to make money, but to provide internship opportunities for my students in the CRA CRC Academy to be able to intern on real studies. So that was like, I saw the problem, I saw where I could fit in, and I saw where I could actually have a business in that space. It's like super niche. But to just say in general, hey, because I worked in pharma, I want to start a CRO because I'm smart and I have smart friends and we want to make money in 6 months. That's like philosophically the wrong reason to get into it. I also find people that want to start sites. Hey, Ronke, how's it going? Um, I also see people that want to start sites that say, "Hey, here's the one I just can't." Again, digital versus analog. All right, so many people want to start sites. They've been CRAs, for X amount of years. They've been coordinators for X amount of years. They see me and Brad and Dr. Fox out there, Judy, Monica, and they're like, "Okay, I can do that too." Well, yeah, you can for sure. Well, they get hung up on the first issue, which is probably the most important one, getting a PI. So then they say, can I send a letter? Do you have a letter template? This is what I can't stand, guys. Do you have a letter template that I could mail prospective physicians in my area? I'm sure I do, but what good is it if I give you mine? How do I know you can do those things? Why don't you just write like a genuine letter of what you actually can offer them? right? Mail it to them. But again, that's just digital. That's just one or zero. You either mail it or you don't. Who cares? What do we do when we get when we get mail, when we get letters in the mail that we don't know who it's from, and maybe it doesn't even look like it's like handwritten or something, right? It might be different if it's handwritten, but I just throw them out. Especially templates. The more of a template it looks like, the faster I throw it out. Yesterday my wife gave me something. All I saw on the front was like big 0%. I didn't even look at who sent it. Boom, straight to trash. Straight to trash, right? So, why send a letter? I understand. It's better than doing nothing. Okay, but that's digital. What are you doing analog fine tuning? So why not send a letter that you make, put some actual work into it, like write a letter that actually means something to you, handwrite the the delivery address, maybe draw some stuff on the envelope to make the person want to open it that doesn't look templated, and follow up by going in person to the office. And if the receptionist tells you no, you can't meet with the doctor, don't take no for an answer. Say, well, when is he or she free? I'm not selling anything. I have research that I'm trying to do in this community, and he or she's the perfect fit, I think. They won't want to miss out on this opportunity. Just don't take no for an answer. That's the analog, right? Again, even that small situation, you go in to the office, the receptionist says he or she's not in, or he or she's very busy today. The digital response is leave or tell them something else. The analog is fine tuning your way to get a meeting. What does it take for me to sit down with him for 5 minutes? I've done this like dozens of times, guys. The most recent was 6 months ago when I got my one of my newest PIs here in Yuma, Dr. Aluri, who's a neurologist and a psychiatrist. Guess what? We have a Zoom meeting later today with another sponsor that wants to give us a study. So far, we have one study for him. 6 months ago, his receptionist told me, "Who are you?" No, he's busy. I told her, "Well, I'll wait." That's literally what I said. I will wait till he's done. I only need 3 minutes, and I know he's interested. So she said, okay, sit down and wait. And guess what? It worked. Now, that's not a digital response, that's an analog response. Again, I love this theme. I don't know how it came up. Ashley Marco, what up? Okay, speaking of Save Our Sites conference, this is Ashley Marco. Misa says, hey, Dan and all, as a report writer at a CRO, which online course is more helpful to expand my knowledge in the research field, drug safety and pharmacovigilance or regulatory affairs courses? Please advise. As a report writer, clinical study report and protocol synopsis. Um, I would say drug safety and PV. I think regulatory affairs would be good too. Why not both? Why not both? If I had to choose, I'd pick drug safety and pharmacovigilance. Uh, Ronke. Dan is one of the very few people to pronounce my name correctly the first time. Now I know it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And I will go out on the limb and say Ronke is short for Aderonke. I got much love for my Nigerian community out there. No wahala. He can launch a joint business venture like with someone to address the area of improvement. Yes, Ronke, go into the office. It's exactly right. And this is, by the way, the same thing. Hey, Deepti, how's it going? This is like this same principle. It doesn't matter if you want to start a CRO, you want to start a consulting group, you want to start a site, or you're just trying to get your start in the industry. Okay? Understand the difference between digital and analog in your approach. You need both. You need both. All my Nigerian followers, you guys know what's up. I'm basically an adopted Nigerian at this point. Rankin no Wahala. That's right. Brad Hightower. I know you're going live later, Brad. That's why I went live earlier. We can't be going live same time. We need we need to be streamlined in our approach. We need to give content. It's like CNN of clinical research. Somebody from SOS needs to be live at every hour. It's like CNN. SOS conference guys, hit me up or Brad for the secret link. Do things that don't scale. Wow. I mean, this is why Brad's just that alone, right? That's right. Do things that don't scale. When you customize something, when you fine tune something, when you approach the fact that you go, let's say you're a career seeker, you want to be a coordinator. The fact that you took the time out to go to a site and you, let's say they said, no, the site director's not here today. So you leave your resume and you come back the next day and you come back the next day and you come back the next day until they understand, hey, this person's not going to quit until they talk to you. The receptionist is going to go find the site director, say this person keeps coming in. You know, they want to talk to you. They're definitely determined. That alone, without even seeing a resume, that alone tells that site director a lot about you. And that's what Brad's saying. Do things that don't scale. Me and Brad, we own sites. We're site directors. That speaks volumes, right? Like, again, that's analog. You're fine tuning. Digital approach would be, oh, let me just apply to all these 100 jobs. And then from these 100, 10 will email me back. And from these 10, one or two will give me an interview. And then I got to figure out how to do it. Like, I got to make my parachute while I jump. That's fine too. I mean, what else? If it's better than nothing. Some people do nothing. Some people don't do digital or analog. They don't do anything. Jesse says, "Hi Dan, hey, I love you, Jesse from Latinos in Clinical Research Represent. I've seen you on the Zoom meetups. I know who you are, man. Hi Dan, do you know if the SOS conference will be recorded? We're not sure yet. We're discussing everything's on the table. All right. Well, what I do know is the revolution will maybe be recorded. Stay tuned. Folucio, thank you, man. Uh, Loba says, I want to start mine. I brought PIs to my previous company and they did not really see my value. So I opted out of the company. What are my next steps? Find new ones. Find new ones that do see your real value, or get introspective here and say, well, what do I think my real value is versus what it actually is? Like, just do it again. Uh, I believe he's trying to start a site. Revolution is underway. We got to decide in our internal meeting today. Will it be recorded or not? I know parts of it will. You guys plan the details. I'm cool with it. I hope I hope it was enough of a episode. If there's more questions, I'm happy to help. I think I got most of the stuff off my chest. Like, there are no rules. Okay, there's rules in research. It's GCP, good clinical practice. And then there's further rules like protocols for individual studies. And then there's further rules like SOPs for particular sites or CROs or sponsors. But within the vague framework of those rules, right, there are limitless options. And that's where the value for critical thinking comes in. So we got any more questions? Career seekers, just know the difference between digital and analog. Business owners, even if you are a business side owner like myself, how am I gonna get like right now I really need an oncologist. There's only one group in my town that is independently owned. That's not part of the hospital. I've already been there probably 2 or 3 times, and I've been told the decision maker's not here. Not here. So I dropped off a copy of my book. I thought that would impress them. It didn't. So I've got a decision to make too. Like, when do I go back? And my, I'm not excluded from this strategy as well. Like, I gotta start thinking more analog in that. Like, I know the owner of that oncology group lives in Phoenix, so he lives like 3 hours away from me. So I know, and I've already messaged him on LinkedIn. Ignored me. So I know I gotta find a way. Like, I'm gonna probably write a handwritten letter after making fun of letters. It might work. Uh, I already have 5 PIs. Okay, just go. Start with one. Loba. Loba, if you haven't done a site yet, like if you haven't done a study yet, start with one PI, the one you're most comfortable with. Start with them, and then the others will see, hey, this guy's serious. Like, he actually. Now I want to be the second one. I want to be the third one. The first one's the hardest to get. So get the first one that you're most comfortable with, that has the best setup for you, meaning their own office, ideally their own private practice. That means their own patients. And then the most willing to work with you. Like, what do they want from you? Do they want rent? Do they want a higher percentage? Work that out with them. And Loeb, I'm happy to schedule a one-on-one. Matter of fact, better than one-on-one. It's two-on-one. Myself and Chris Sauber. Message me your email on LinkedIn, and we will set up a call. We do this every day. I have later on 2 other people like you. Every day we talk to somebody. So hit me up. Jesse says, hey, actually just submitted my survey response for LICR. I have a cool, unique idea to integrate LICR goals with local high school after school programs. I hope by educating teens and college students on research, we can open doors for diverse talent and see a shift in ethnic diversity workforce. And this is exactly right, Jesse. And you're the one to do it. When you're that passionate about something, that's all you got to do. Loba, put it in my inbox, okay? That way I see it. Just message me, direct message me so that I don't forget. Um, Yolanda says, don't give up. Sometimes unknown what keep a PI from jumping in the research. Your first PI will always leave you. It's just like a rule I've had. And you might happen too. My first PI that I thought I was going to work with was not Dr. Smith, who's an awesome PI, by the way. My first PI was someone who it started off looking good. And then I started seeing like the holes in the potential business plan. I said, nope, I've been doing this too long. I already know where this is going to go. So then I found my second one. But for some, it's like, it's not a rule, but it's been a rule for me. Your first PI will always not work out for some reason. Hate to be a Debbie Downer, unless they're family. Like if it's your wife or your husband that's your PI, or your parent, or like a sibling, that's good. And I hope they don't leave you. That would be bigger problems than clinical research. You're good, Loba. You got this, man. I mean, yeah. Thank you, Ashley. Yeah, Ashley's like the glue that holds all the LICR together. Ashley and Monica and Judy. Those 3 girls run the show for LICR. Again, Save Our Sites 2024 secret link if you want. We're only going to do early bird a few more days. And once we sell 100 more early birds, we're done. We can't do more than 200. Message me if you're a site owner for sure. If you're a coordinator for sure. It's only $50 right now. If you're a career seeker for sure. If you're a tech vendor for sure. If you're a CRO, whatever you are, sponsor, we're also looking to get some sponsors. But we have to be selective about our sponsors. So if you're interested in either the link, the secret link, or to be a sponsor, hit me up, Lopa, send me your email. Thank you everybody for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share. Take care.